Okay, so I lay you down in the center of my 4-pointed star in the circle, and the 4 runes of, I don't know, 4 magic runes. I don't know.
The 4 stitches, whatever.
The 4 stitches of the apocalypse.
I don't know. What do you like runes for magic? I always like using the stars.
You can
Like,
if you.
this is the symbol of Mercury. I'm going to use the symbol of Saturn.
I would say you could use the symbols that signify different clothing styles.
There we go. That'll work.
Okay.
You know those are planets and not stars,
the symbol
right?
Oh, yeah,
of,
planets,
of
yeah.
modernism,
Yes,
the
you're
symbol
right.
of
The hat.
You know,
I'm using the rune of
classical,
the hats. I'm using-
neoclassical.
Yes.
Using the rune of the pantaloons.
So you're starting to form the
No,
The
circle.
rune of the vest.
Yeah.
Mint. And the rune of the flowing cloak.
Okay. So you start to roll the circle around.
I lay you down.
Come on.
Do you have a preference for your thread color?
Blue.
Blue. I pull out a silk blue thread.
Ah, nice.
A needle.
That's pretty sweet.
And
This
it's
is
my turn
going
to ask
to-
for different runes.
I'm going to.
This is going to sting.
I want to like put myself into like a holy trance, like a
Please do not do that.
what?
Do not do that.
Why wouldn't I do
You
that?
can try to meditate as best as you possibly can.
Okay, I'll do that.
But that's just would be
Don't-
heavy prayer.
Look.
The netro.
yeah.
You can pray to Netro, just don't cross the wires and have holy power mixed with my magic power.
I'll just pray to
You'll get the
Metro.
most amazing familiar ever.
Celestial turtle.
I begin.
No, it'd be a Cyclops.
Praise the sun.
Like with single eye of
Yeah.
Netro.
I start chanting. The needle goes in.
And I'm like muttering
Okay.
prayers.
Is he bad at this? It's like, ah!
No, it hurts, but like it's a needle.
Okay.
Okay, so you're like muttering prayers, focusing. All right, roll that spell check.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I wanted to make it a bit more
Okay.
flavorful. I was
Oh.
gonna roll it, but just eventually, like, I want it to in the fiction to start when I'm ready.
Oh,
It's
okay,
the beginning.
cool. What points are you burning?
I'm probably gonna do a mix of everything.
Okay,
Do you want to know now?
just as long as you're aware.
What if
Okay.
the types of scores
Well, I mean, be
matter
like, you
to
know,
Because you need to burn a
I
total
do
of
3 in
14,
strength,
right?
3 in agility, 3 in stamina. Just flat out.
That's only
4 in
9.
stamina to go to the
Oh.
10 minimum. Now let's just figure this out now first. So that brings me to 9, 6, and 7. Casting with Percival is +6. The cloth gives me a +1 bonus at +7. I'm at +9 with the bless.
There's 2.
Let's pump it up to +12.
Just to be sure you don't fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
+12. So I need 3 more, which will just split evenly. 8, 5, 6.
Okay.
Laid out.
I finish the rune. I tell you to stand up. I begin wrapping around the vestments that we have selected.
So Percival begins to move around the circle in the opposite direction as you wrap the
Interesting.
vestments
I
around
figured.
him, and you notice that the lights and the room, like the sunlight coming through, the early dawn light starts to dim and such whenever it is. And
Yeah.
Percival's eyes begin to light up and glow bright yellow in the light.
Dark
I,
brown.
as soon as you're down, I set you down, and you kind of almost float down.
Whoa.
It seems unnatural that I'm able to lift you up and place you in the right spots.
There's a kind of misty fog that rolls in the room out of nowhere, and then whatever clothing or clothes are in the room start to shake and jangle a little bit as if they're being blown by a wind, just slightly.
I lay
Awesome.
my hands on your chest, and my symbol emblazons itself and stitches itself in the cloth surrounding you.
Whoa.
I close my eyes, and I chant, and the spell begins.
Do it.
Okay, so that was a plus
23?
12 bonus. It's 23.
So Percival, as you begin chanting the ritual, Percival goes, "Yes," and you look down, and suddenly you feel this pain in your chest where your heart is. You can keep the ritual going without any problem, but the side of your shirt falls open, and you suddenly see the stitchings on your own heart. Suddenly, they begin to restitch themselves. The stitching goes and starts to restitch and move about, sliding the threads around inside your own heart. And as it stitches a bit like this and that and there, it eventually stitches out to form not the MF as before, but now a Q.
What?
Yep, a Q with a simple little circle going off the end of it. A different letter. And Percival goes, There's the thread. And Percival runs towards the circle and leaps over the circle and dives straight at your chest while you're chanting and goes and disappears right into your chest.
What the fuck?
Just right in.
What? What?
What?
The spell continues.
The spell continues.
What?
You're in the middle of the spell. It's still going.
All right, it's going.
Finish this.
At least once a day, I look through the keyhole to see what's going on.
Sure.
Because I'm super curious about what's happening.
Merek,
So-
you got a cat in your heart.
As you continue to cast the spell over the week, the cloth around you that you laid out as the circle begins to rise up and form a kind of curtain surrounding the entirety of you and Jovan. Just to like create a kind of curtain. Yeah. And then along
my
the
God.
curtain you can suddenly see it starts very slowly at first, but at first there's a little kind of thread that goes think, and it's a white silk, right? So it goes think with a red thread, and then think again, and it starts to stitch itself. And then eventually it starts to stitch whole like visages and valleys and like rolling hills and stuff like that. It starts to stitch a race of like people and stuff, like chatting back and forth to each other. And as you look around the circle, it begins to stitch this whole like massive mural of this society that lives and goes on and exchanges goods with each other, crafts clothing. You see them sitting at these gigantic wheel-like machines, pumping them with their feet and spinning cloth out of them and stuff. And it goes around the entirety of the thing. And at the very end of the mural, after the stitching finishes, it begins to stitch out humanoid forms. And it stitches out about 6 of them. And then on each of the 6 of them, there seems to be a singular red thread that connects each of the forms, humanoid forms, going down. On some of them, also, there seems to be different colored threads splitting off in other directions, linking to different people. In some cases. Not all, but in some cases. The last one has, when the last one's all stitched in and stuff, it finishes. And then there's a blue thread, which is different from the red that's just been done up till now, and stitches along the cloth and starts to stitch. And then a blue person humanoid form starts to come into appearance in the cloth. And then slowly, the cloth on the thing starts to like split apart a little bit, as if the stitches are being ripped slightly, and then a green light starts to leak through the cloth stitches. And the eye of Netro is emboldened on the person. And looking back, you can see that along the chain of people who are all connected by this singular thread, there are a number of other symbols that start to appear on different chests. And just a couple along down the chain.
What?
This is previous lives.
So yeah, you begin to stitch it all out and stuff, and then the thing begins to spin, and it continues to spin until the mural and the people and everything just becomes this dizzying blur. And as time goes on, you see different colorful regs that you've laid out, or maybe just ones that appeared out of nowhere, go flying over your head. So it's a whole colorful show of different regs flying about, zipping about the place, flipping back and forth, all kinds of things as the week goes on. In the meantime, while this ritual is progressing,
Oh my God.
What have I done?
Hopefully there's
Insanity.
at least once during this whole time, there's actually 3 like chairs in your room as me and the 2 like guards, and we're sipping tea and eating crumpets and going,
Maybe I should have
that's
done
kind of
second
awesome,
sight
right?
for
You
this.
just think that, like, what do you think?
That actually would have been a good idea.
Yeah, what?
so on
I
the
hope it wasn't like, oh yeah, I just give up my familiar, you have one.
So on the 4th day, Vergis arrives.
Oh yeah.
So the first question is like, by the time Vergis arrives, have we not yet successfully hired anyone to open the bar yet?
Right. So
Okay.
let me get to that first. So on the 2nd day, while the ritual is going on, you're kind of on your lonesome. The guards have been mostly sticking to their rooms. They
Right.
don't want to go near the door.
Sure.
They kind of go down there and like kind of work on it, but they're obviously so scared of it. So eventually. At one point, there is a knock on the door of the Doulahan, and then it slowly opens up, and you see this, like, smallish, probably about 17-year-old kid peek his head in, and he's completely bald. Like, he's got little nubs of hair, but it looks like it's completely shaved off for some reason.
Okay.
And he's wearing, like, this sackcloth sash and such like that around him. Like, it's obviously a street urchin, right?
Oh, okay. Like, not
Yeah.
like a monk.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
And so he leans in, and he like looks about and he goes, hello?
Hi. What can we do for you?
And he presses the door open and he looks at you. Oh,
Is he an urchin I've ever recognized from the streets, or is he a stranger?
You don't recognize him.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, oh, are you the owner?
Yes.
Really? I'm sorry. I'm bad at
Yes.
with people. I was told to Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah.
What?
So he like leads you in and he sits down and he goes, I was told that you needed an accountant.
Yes.
Okay.
You're an accountant?
Yeah. Well, I'm good with numbers. I'm not so
Really?
good with people, but I'm good with numbers.
Oh. Who sent you?
Oh shoot! They told me. Five. Let's see. 8765 Frederick.
Oh, if Frederick sent you, then so let's get started then, shall we? I go into my room and I take out the last book that Althea had.
Yeah.
It's like, so much of this is in Elvish, which I don't know if you can read, but I figured if you're as good at numbers as you say you are, the numbers will speak for themselves. And I hand him like the last book.
Okay, so he like grabs it and like opens it up and starts flipping through it and goes, And he like looks at it and flips through it a bit and goes, "Who did this?"
Our previous accountant.
Well, they were pretty bad, I'll tell you that. I can save you a ton of money. I mean, geez, what was he doing?
It was an elf woman.
Oh, well, whoever she was, she deserves to meet a terrible end, I'll tell you what. This is like a battle massacre.
Well, you know what? Funny you should mention that. She was horribly murdered, like right outside her room right here.
Wait, why would you say that?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah, bad news that. But it was her own fault. I'm sure that as a good accountant, you will not suffer such an end.
No, I'm definitely not going to screw up the numbers this badly.
We get what we deserved, you know.
Right.
Here, I got a room ready for you upstairs. Come on.
I'm hired?
Yeah. The fact that you knew what was going on and Frederick speaks for you, you're in. And, you know, we keep to ourselves, you know. So...
And he narrows his eye and go, "What do you mean?"
Didn't Frederick send you? Aren't you part of in the guild? Aren't you part of the organization?
I don't know what you should talk. Frederick just told me to do this.
Oh, okay. Frederick is part of a club that I'm with, and basically, we're tight. And if you're good with numbers, although we're gonna have to get you some new clothes, because even though you say you're not good with people, if you ever come downstairs, we don't want the clientele to see that, because you don't look like an accountant. You know what I mean? Like we have to like clean you up a bit.
Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So where'd you come from? Where'd Frederick find you?
My name's Alvis. Nice
Is
to
that
meet you.
Alvis?
Yeah.
All right.
Alvis.
Oh, you know? You
Alvis
wouldn't
and
be a
Chipmunks.
great singer, would you? And like have really good songster skills?
No, I
Right.
was a cabin boy on a ship that rolled into port. Technically I was a slave on the ship, but they kicked me off.
Really?
Wow. not
Why
good
would
enough
they
to
do
be
that?
slave.
You seem to be amazingly valuable for any organization.
Yeah, I mean, I was really good at dealing with the treasure and stuff. They just didn't like me, I guess.
Oh, he was too good. He did
Ah.
not give the captain his rightful share.
Oh, Elvis, you have a home here as long as you're doing your job well, and we will not kick you out because we are not that kind of people.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I have trouble with people, but I'm good with numbers.
Yes. So, well, here, let me take you to your room, and we'll go shopping tomorrow and get you some new clothes and whatever you need to we'll get you some pins and inks and, you know, maybe some math toys or something that will make you happy.
So he starts to walk down, you know, you lead him towards the stairs, and he looks down at the end of the hallway and sees the door.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What's that?"
Oh, it's part of some investigation. We got some follower guards upstairs. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Just never go to that door and never try to get in.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
All right.
Who would be stupid enough to mess with that thing? Okay.
Apparently some morons that work for the Paradigms. So I take him upstairs and I will give. So they're in the room at the very end, right?
Mhm.
So I give him the room opposite. Oh no, that's right. You had told us that the geography of this inn is not what I thought it was.
Yeah, so I actually
you
have the
gonna-
map now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I used to think it was a.
Do you live in the downstairs room?
Yeah, I'm in
Okay,
upstairs
yeah,
room
that's
now.
what I thought.
So here we go. So I'm imagining that Merek and Jovan are off here in room 1 because the follower guards are over here.
Right.
So I'm imagining they're off here.
And where's the stair that leads
Right there.
right up? Okay. So since he's bad with people, I'm gonna give him this room over here, number 7.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna write
Yeah,
Elvis
Elvis.
here. because that way he won't be in the way, and he's on the other side of the guards. So even if he occasionally has to come out, the odds of him seeing anyone along the way is Jovan and Merek's room.
That's the
Oh.
big room they shared together.
Oh, I didn't realize they slept in the same bed. Look at how
Dude,
romantic
we
this
don't.
is. They little two pillows.
Wait,
There are
two?
There are
I
two
just
beds.
always assumed that it was a huge bed, and you guys just
No,
put the
there are
cur-
two. There are two beds.
That's fine. Then there's 2 beds. That's
And
fine.
Two
I mean,
chests.
I
We
don't
never
know.
defined
This will
it.
make the spell more efficacious because there's already intimacy involved.
I'm fine with sharing the bed.
Yeah.
Does your fictional
I wear
character
silk
not want to
pajamas.
share the bed with my fictional character?
No, he loves it. It's
Oh.
great.
Efficiency.
It's so warm.
Merek
Okay,
shared a bed when he
Percival
was
gets
growing
up
up.
in there.
Yeah.
So you guys-
he's in between us.
Yeah.
So you guys stride up the stairs, and yeah. So you
Oh,
guys,
there are fewer tables in here than I thought.
Yeah, it's not a big bar.
Yeah, I always thought this was bigger.
well,
Like I always thought this front section was bigger. Like I thought it was like about like a square, and there was another 2 sets of rows of tables there.
it's a little wider, but yeah.
No, that's fine. Okay,
So yeah.
I like this kid.
So he goes into room number 8, and or 7, and he hears like this like whooshing and stitching noise coming from room 1, and he goes, Sarah.
Room 1?
That's where you guys are.
Oh, he was that close to it?
Well, I mean, you
They're
have
in
to
the,
walk up
you're in the
stair.
big corner room over there.
I see.
And he goes, you guys, something going on?
Oh yeah, my colleagues are working on a project right now.
Oh.
Yeah,
I want to see what familiar you got.
they're
They get a person.
they're very close. One's a wizard, one's a cleric.
A
They always
cat
have
leaps
something
out of the
weird
floor.
going on.
There's a wizard?
Yeah. Oh, just wait. When they're done, you'll meet him.
Oh, please tell me he's excited.
Yes.
Yeah, I get an apprentice.
Okay.
I don't deserve one, but I get one.
He's gonna be a mathomancer. It's gonna be amazing. He's gonna go, cloth. That's the wrong way to do magic. Magic should
God,
always
he's
be
gonna-
done by spreadsheets.
He's gonna be like that guy in Numbers.
Yeah.
He's gonna see all my
Mathematic.
bad sheets of spell writing and just go like,
Anyway,
Numerology is the best magic.
this is great. This is the best job I've ever had. It's the only job I've ever had, but it's the best one.
Oh, you're gonna like it, man.
And he runs into room 7 and goes, let me get started on the books.
Yeah.
And he runs back down and he goes, so how much do you want to make, like, a day?
what the fuck?
Well, isn't that based on how many customers we have?
Well, I suppose so, but like I can, I can take things out of other expenses. Like what's my target number here? What are we going for?
Well, we've been
I mean, at least make it a challenge.
turning around like 100 gold a week or
Does
so.
he
Okay.
cook books?
And he like runs back
Well,
downstairs and gets the books.
It doesn't help if we don't actually
No,
make
he-
real money, right? Cooking books means that there's not real money there. But if he actually can somehow make it so there's like, oh, if you bought potatoes at this rate instead, or you only got them at
Right.
so
He basically is
Alright,
asking
that's
for a goal.
yeah.
Like if you were his
Oh.
CEO, he'd be like, I need you to increase profits by 10%.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like so far, based on the numbers you gave us, it looks like we've been turning over about 100 gold a week.
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
Makes sense.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not
Quite
bad.
good.
Do we have to pay taxes?
Not yet. The landlord hasn't come around.
Oh.
Yeah.
it hasn't come up.
Okay.
Just appears and be like, you guys owe me 2,000 gold.
No, you know who the landlord is? The monster in the room. The first time he came to collect rent, I said, "That's it." Boom.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
You
I own the building now.
We haven't paid rent in
Rent-free.
6 years.
You're not allowed to have cats in here.
It's on your lease.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
need a deposit.
Alvis goes off into room 7 with the books and goes,
I'm
okay, busy.
excited about this Elvis kid.
Starts scribing down
I
stuff.
like him already.
He's
Yeah.
sharp as a tack.
No bartender though, not today anyway. You don't
So
know
you
if
still
you don't know if
readers?
he's coming later or if
Well,
she's coming later or whatever.
Until we can't open without the bartender. 'cause-
Right.
And I hope they understand it's bartender / cook.
Right.
Okay, good.
So
Very clear in the ad.
Yeah.
on day 4, Vergis arrives.
Oh.
It's just you. It's just you.
Oh, I presume that I've been cleaning. That I'm not just
Sure.
like randomly like
Hope so.
living in my own feces while I was waiting for these girls to show
So
up.
yeah, you try to keep things tidy.
Yeah.
And
it should be easier because we have no customers.
right. So looking out the window, you can see that coming down the street there is a man dressed in a long white robe with a hood that covers his face.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Like he's bent over. He's pretty tall, and he's bent over almost double, so the hood's covering his face. As he
Oh, it's
walks
just a
down.
big hood. It's
Yeah.
not like he has a veil that like
No,
purpose.
no.
Okay.
This is like whoosh. And he walks along the streets, and you can see that floating next to him are two of those mask things you saw before. You remember with the slits? Yeah. So they're floating right next to him as he walks.
Oh, wow. Have they always been floating?
No, sometimes they walk.
Oh, okay.
But you remember that they can just do telekinesis, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So so they float along next to him, and he walks up to the door of the Doulahan, and the two things float up and grab the door and open it up for him, and just open the door, and he strides inside. Very odd. He didn't come with more falderal or whatever. And,
the Paradise have really interesting, unique personalities. It's like.
So he strides in and he pulls the hood back, and as he does so, you gasp, or at least you might gasp, because you've seen his face before in a scrying vision.